Hey, welcome to podcast number
3
of Effing Details.com. Effingdetails.com, absolutely. I am Mark Simmons, and you are?
Jill Simmons.
We're happy to be back.
Very happy.
Another day, another dollar, or not, I don't know. Yeah.
It's sunny out.
It's definitely, where we are, it's definitely sunny today.
Yeah.
So, on our last podcast, what did we talk about? Like, it wasn't all that long ago.
No.
We talked about having someone in your corner.
I remember that, yes.
Right? And you talked about, I'm in your corner.
You are.
You're in my corner.
Correct.
100%. And we discussed that it's really good to have at least one person in your corner.
It is.
But also the fact that a lot of people ask other people's opinions. What do you think of this idea? And then all they get is opinions. If anybody starts off a conversation with you with these words, I think that ... they're about to give you an opinion on something. And you get to choose whether you take said opinion or not. And if it resonates with you, you'll probably take it. And if it doesn't, you would be like, why would they say that about me? And go down a really bad road sometimes.
Yeah,
they don't support me. They don't do this. But you ask for the opinion.
Right.
So it's when you can get out of that whole piece around, it's not against you. It's just their opinion.
Correct.
And then, funnily enough, we were asked the question, well, what do you do if you actually don't have anybody around you?
Great question.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't.
True.
And we talked last time that for a lot of people, people may seem supportive of your ideas and things you want to do in life or business, and but then put you down about it or talk to other friends about it, or we wouldn't know anything about anyone talking about us about anything. That never happens.
No.
Yeah. So but it was a good question.
It is a great, great question.
Yeah. So what do you do if you don't have anyone around you to support you?
I'm not really sure. I don't know. Because it never, when I didn't have anybody in my corner, I just never went forward with any of my ideas.
Yeah.
Until I met you.
Yeah.
What could have I done?
I think there's a perspective thing and a headspace thing and a lot of things. There's a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. There's no should have.
Okay.
There are probably things you could have done. There's things I could have done. The people listening could do a lot of things should they choose to do them. It's like Mission Impossible. Mm-hmm. The mission, should you choose to accept it, is. And so that I'm pretty heavily involved in networking.
Right.
And one of your great gifts, which came out through my networking, is you're just this crazy-ass networker.
No, I can be.
No, you're a crazy-ass networker. Give yourself credit. And so what Jill's able to do when she's having discussions with people, which is pretty interesting, is, and this goes back to a dinner we had years ago. We were out with a company I was working for. We were out with a client and her boss. And it was beginning the talks of renegotiating a contract. And I sat next to my client who I knew, and Jill sat next to her boss who came from another province. And I was having my usual conversations with, this is what's going on, this is what they're looking for as far as taking care of the contract. And then after the dinner, we were all at a hockey game, and Jill comes to me and goes and said to me, now here's the things that they find that are really important to them. He has a daughter. They're not looking just for this particular piece of the business. They're looking for you to take care of all these other things. And she had all this information. I'm like, how the hell did you find that out? She goes, I just asked.
Yeah.
I just asked. And but that's one of her gifts, is you have the ability to ask questions, get answers, and be, I think the real word here is be super curious.
I agree with you. I am just really, really curious, and I really enjoy asking questions about people and what they want and what their needs are. But I also really enjoy people asking me questions.
Yeah.
And so whenever somebody comes to me and says, I have a question to ask you, I'm so excited. I'm like, oh, please tell me. It's like, and it, you know, I really want it to be like one of those really cool, juicy questions. Most the time it's not. Not like the questions I ask people, which tend to be, a little bit more deeper and going down,
Yeah.
But, everybody has their way of networking, and mine is just to go deep, go fast.
Right. Part of that, so there's the thing about digging deep into questions. So people will answer questions when they feel safe. Mm-hmm. People will network when they feel safe. People do a lot of things when they feel they're in a safe place to do things, right, or act a certain way, or be a certain way, or say certain things. Mm-hmm. When we get to our age, I know one of the things you and I talked about a lot a few years back is we talked in the last podcast about letting go of stuff. So letting go of outcome. Letting go of judgment is super hard.
Oh, very. Super
hard for me still. Mm-hmm. Sometimes people make fun of me because I talk about judgment, and they go, "You always think you're being judged." And I go, "Well, because I am." The things you say are truly judgmental.
Right.
So getting to the point of this phrase, I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
So working towards getting to that point where you just actually don't care anymore.
Right.
Like none of that. And you and I talked about that. We've been able to let go over the years of a lot of things.
Correct.
Everything, no. It's super hard.
Yes.
But some things.
Yeah.
So letting go of caring so much about other stuff and being able to focus on our stuff and my own personal stuff and your own personal stuff. Okay. So where's this all going is when asking questions, if you make people feel safe, mm-hmm, right, then they'll tell you, they'll open up their world to you. So you have this unique ability to make people feel safe. I don't know what it is. Your calm nature. I mean, in your real work life, that's what you do. You take care of people.
True.
You do. You really take care of people. So you have this nurturing side, which is you anyways. It's in your DNA.
Right.
And it definitely is a safety thing. Okay. So I know you love people asking you questions.
I do.
And you're really comfortable in asking questions. So this comes back to the networking thing.
Okay.
And if you don't have anybody in your corner, you want to do something cool, but you don't actually have anybody, what do? Well, the question that I would have for you is, well, what's the community around you? Who are the people around you? Who's in your network? Where do you hang out?
So what if I said to you, I don't really have a network?
Yeah. So I hold that. It's a great question. I hold that. If there's ever more than you in a room, even one more person, my friend, you have a network. You have a network.
Okay.
I hear all the time, all the networking I do. So I hear all the time from people who are part of a networking group, and they will sit there and tell me I don't have a network. And what is this? This is a network. This is one. It's not the network. You need to network in a lot of places.
Okay.
But the framing or the words or the wordsmithing around it is, well, this is networking. But when I'm playing sports with my friends, it's not networking. Oh, it sure is. When you're at a lineup in the grocery store or getting coffee or wherever it is, and you're just having casual conversation with people in line, that's networking.
True.
Absolutely. And so where do you go to the gym? Where do you work out? What religious or non-religious groups or sports or non-sports groups or any of these things are opportunities. Here's the crazy thing. I was just remembering this. So a few years ago, we were in Thailand.
Okay.
Right? A couple years ago, we were in New Orleans. Mm-hmm. And those trips had two things in common. So when we were in Koh Phi Phi, we were with a group of people. We went to Muay Thai boxing.
Right.
Remember?
Yes.
I remember with a group of people, and we were with one of our friends, Ted, and Ted talked to the person, I think, behind us.
Yes.
In Koh Phi Phi. Where was he from? Remember?
Richmond.
Was from Richmond. That's right.
Yes.
Across the bridge from us.
Yep.
5-minute drive.
Totally.
Home.
Right.
From home.
Yep.
Another part of the world from home.
Yep.
Crazy, right?
That was crazy.
Yeah. And there's opportunity. What do you do? And they knew commonalities and common people and everything.
Yeah.
when we're in another part of the world. Second time it happened to us a couple of years ago in New Orleans. You and I were out one night giving it everything we can on Bourbon Street.
Yep, on the dance floor.
We were there, and we were dancing, and they were giving us the test tube shots, and it was a crazy time. And there was another couple dancing, and I started talking to the guy. Where was he from?
Richmond again.
He's also
he was
from Richmond.
Yeah.
He was again across the bridge. Crazy. Started talking about his business. I knew his business. We knew common people.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
We have a network. The world, the 6 degrees of separation thing is no longer. That's my own personal opinion. It's like 1 or 2 degrees of separation, someone from someone else.
Yeah.
And probably the people that are listening, if anybody's listening, if you're not already one of our friends and we made you subscribe and listen, but you just randomly, we are probably 1 or 2, maybe a max of 3, what's the word, piece separation away from each other through 3 different people.
Totally.
Right? And so the world is very small.
It is.
So the point is this, that you do have a network if you're willing to ask the questions and be like you.
Right.
Curious.
Absolutely. But my question to you is, how do you do so without sounding like you're selling yourself constantly?
Yeah. So when you have telemarketers phoning,
right,
do you like picking up the phone? And you is general, not you, but you. Do you like picking up the phone and then they're hardcore selling you? Do you like being sold to?
No.
No. People don't like being sold to.
No.
I know it's our job is to sell, and we're always selling. We don't necessarily like to be sold to. So we know that people will do business with people they know, like, and trust. And the rush is, here's my product. You want to buy it? It's a great hat. Fuck the details.
It's an amazing hat.
Right. Buy it.
Yeah.
Well, we could hardcore sell this thing.
We could.
Right. Or here's another way. Yeah, you look amazing in the Fuck the Details hat. That's our swag. So send us questions. We may send you a hat. And the thing about it is, if I want to sell you this hat, and this is my product, what's the reason you'd want this hat? Like, we're going to have to build some relationship first.
Right.
We really are.
Totally.
And so trust isn't easy. Right. Trust takes time.
Yes.
People build trust or kill trust all the time. Sometimes they don't know when they're doing either. So it's a bit of a slower process. But it's about building the relationship. So if we're meeting at, let's say you and I are in line and at a coffee place, and I didn't know you, and we just started talking, and the lineup is long because the person in front of us wants 25 things done to their coffee, and this is going to take a while before all that gets out. And so we've got time.
Right.
And so the discussion goes to, well, what do you do? Well, what do you do? And what you look for is obviously commonalities.
Absolutely.
What are the commonalities? And you look for if they're interested in what it is you do, and set another time, build relationships, buy them coffee. I don't know. But for God's sakes, you're not going to sit there and go, oh my gosh, that's what I do. Here's my hat. Want to buy it?
Right.
That's desperation.
Totally.
Rarely works. Yeah, you got to be ballsy. You got to be a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
But if it's not, I guess the thing also is, if it doesn't land with your personality, it doesn't land. It's going to.
Definitely.
It comes across as inauthentic.
Yeah.
What's the right word? Doesn't matter.
Right.
We're not wordsmithing this puppy.
Right.
Yeah. So the opportunities around us are always there. Should we want them? And so let's look back at a time. Focus on you. A time years ago. There's a lot of things you did in your life. You had a lot of friends. You hung out. Mm-hmm. You did stuff. I'm not talking like 18, 19-year-old selves. Those friends back then, for any of us, although great people, probably weren't going in the direction that we wanted to go with anything business-wise. Right? Everyone was on their own journey, their own path.
Yeah.
When you're looking at your 20s and 30s, whether you're working or you're a stay-at-home parent, whatever it is, and you want to do something with a side hustle, especially as a parent, you're in parent groups, mommy groups, daddy groups, whatever it is. You're going to gym classes or art class, whatever it is. There's opportunities to really, really, really network. And so but it's a mindset.
Right.
I feel like I'm spent. There's so many pieces to this
Yeah,
that we
there
could
are.
talk a lot about it.
Right.
And so I don't think we're going to cover it all in this particular podcast.
I think a lot of people would still find it difficult to network in that way. I mean, not everybody. For somebody who's slightly introverted or a 50-50 person, it can be really hard. For me anyways, everything has to flow naturally.
Right.
If it flows naturally, I have no problem networking in that, realm. For other people, that would be extremely difficult for them to do so.
Yeah.
I have some people I know who are not just introverts, but extreme introverts. And there is no way they would talk to anybody in a lineup.
Yeah. It's, for a lot of people, it is a push.
Yeah.
It's going to be a push.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's almost like a skill that you have to sort of learn and go with.
Yeah.
There are times when it comes easier for me than other times.
Right.
For sure.
So the thing that's harder, in my opinion, than learning how to talk to people. Mm-hmm. Yes, if you're an introvert, I know it causes, there's anxiety, social anxiety. There's a lot of pieces to it. It's all real stuff. You feel it. Your heart starts to beat fast. You get chest pains, and there's a lot of pieces to it. What's even harder is building a business.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That if you can build the business or have the idea to build a business, you can do all the other stuff.
Right.
Yeah, because you're confident enough to do it. You can do it if you push yourself. So what are some things somebody can do if they are truly an introvert to start putting themselves out there? Because the products don't sell themselves, services don't sell themselves.
Yeah.
You can do all the social media you want in the world. It's still, you're the face of the business. There's still a piece of you that's going to be putting yourself out there.
I mean, for me, my advice to people would be start small. Little tiny baby steps, and 1 step, 2 step, 3 step. Do you know what I mean? You build upon it slowly to your comfort zone until it just feels kind of natural to do so.
Yeah, I know that there's a lot of groups in a lot of cities. Some of them are Meetup, but Eventbrite or wherever you find them,
right?
For people who are truly introverts.
Right.
Who want to learn how to start breaking through that. And so you join, maybe it's a Toastmasters. Maybe they teach you how to speak about your business. Right. Or just to talk about things, and you start breaking through your shells. There's a lot of networking groups in a lot of cities that people can join. Mm-hmm. And you're forced to talk to people. Right. More than surface talk. Yeah. You need to be curious like you are.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. And you start to develop the skill, because not everyone does have it. Right. Not everyone's comfortable.
I wouldn't say you're, a super extroverted person.
I am not an extroverted person in a room. No. For me personally, my personality type is, if I'm in control of a room,
you're fine.
No issue. I could get up on stage and I could speak to thousands of people. Not an issue. If I'm in the audience, Mark, come up on stage. And I'm like, oh, God, no, I'm not doing that. I am not prepared, not ready. I don't know. Right. It's out of my control.
Yeah. And I'm opposite. If I know I have to go up on stage, I'm absolutely in sweats. I'm panicking days before, maybe weeks before. I'm upset. It's not in my comfort zone. But if I'm in the audience and I have to work a room and I know I'm going in to do so, I can do so fine.
Yeah. So years ago, this networking group I belonged to, where you stand up at every meeting, you talk for 60 seconds, and you get to ask for business. Who you are, what you do, what a good referral is, that kind of thing. And in the 10 years or so I was in one of the chapters, Jill came twice. Only twice. And each time caused you a severe amount of anxiety.
It did.
Because you had to do one thing during the meeting, which was what?
I had to introduce myself and say a little something about myself, and I did not like that at all.
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
And on the other side of it, you nailed it both times.
But I heard my heart in my ears.
Yeah.
Continuously. And I was sweating and I felt like I was a total.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things we feel is it's like if you're giving a speech and you pause. Mm-hmm. And the pause feels like you've been pausing for 5 minutes.
Absolutely.
And it's literally like a second, maybe 2 seconds, and 0 people in the audience know it.
Right.
But you know it.
You know
and
it.
So that sweating thing, however you feel you're coming off, is not actually how you're coming off.
Right.
Because you came off, I remember both times, you came off confident, knew what you're talking about, you're ready to go. Didn't feel that way to you.
No.
The reality was very, very different. And so there's a piece in there around really trusting in yourself. Trust you can do it.
Right.
You know, you got to believe in yourself too, I feel.
Absolutely.
You want people to believe in you, believe in yourself.
Totally.
Believe in yourself.
So when all of that happened, that was years ago.
It'd be different now. Now you'd have no issue
It
with
would be way different now. Now I've pushed myself so much outside of my comfort zone to do things that I really don't feel comfortable with that now I can do no problem.
Right.
Including this podcast, because years ago, I absolutely hated seeing myself on any type of video. I hated hearing myself. I feel like I sound terrible. On and on and on and on it goes. And now I wouldn't even give it a second thought.
Yeah, and it's not only you that you think sounds terrible. I know you will not listen to videos of me.
Oh, I don't like hearing you on video.
Not hearing you on video
In fact,
either.
It still bothers me hearing you on video more than it bothers me hearing me.
Yeah.
But that's because I know you in a certain way. And it bothers me seeing you on video not you're a different way, but just in a different realm. It's a very weird feeling for me.
Yeah. Part of it is because I have the face for radio. and a whole bunch of other reasons. But your voice changes too. Who knows why? But it's an interesting thing that you have around that. And you still push yourself, and you push yourself. And we are not the only people pushing ourselves. There are gazillions of people pushing themselves and trying to make it work. You know, when you look at what's the meaning of life, I don't know what's the meaning of life. It's different for everybody. But everyone's trying to do something somehow.
They are.
How are they doing it? What will the memorial say about them? You know, what will it look like? Oh, they were great. They were helpful. They were this. Oh, they had a great business and they were a real asshole. We know a few. And so what do they get in the end? Die with money, die with no money, die with no friends. I don't know how it works.
Yeah, I don't know.
But if that's important to them, then whatever. You got to set your own boundaries and things, and we're learning how to do that.
Absolutely.
Which is hard. So if we go back to our full circle, this coming back to our beginning question was, if you don't have a network, no, I think it's if you don't have someone in your corner, even the one person, what can you do?
Right.
And it's find your network.
Right.
More important than even starting the business is find your people.
Find your people.
Find your people. Learn about what it is you want to do. You never have to reinvent a wheel. You can always make a better wheel.
Right.
Never really have to reinvent a wheel. Watch out for scams.
So when, you know, even if you just look at my fashion piece on Instagram, I found my network on Instagram. I found my support system through other people who were posting about fashion.
Yeah.
And it's a very supportive community. I was surprised. It wasn't, cutthroat and all that stuff you hear about. Everybody's really supportive and lovely, and they'll DM me and be like, "Oh, I love that reel you just did," and yeah. One
of the things that was a really cool moment for me, also for you, was during, I think it was during COVID, and you had done your course.
Right.
And around being a fashion consultant. Mm-hmm. And there's Jill on Zoom with all these people on Zoom and she's running a workshop.
I did. I ran a
You ran a workshop for people, not just local, around the world.
Yeah, it was all over the world for SEO.
For SEO, because another thing you did is you figured out back-end blog content management, and you had a business going at the time of really building up people's blog, specifically blog content,
Right.
and fixing stuff and getting them noticed and getting traction.
Yes.
And that was another passion of yours at the time,
Yeah.
outside of your regular business. Another thing that you did.
Yeah.
And you you were running a workshop. You who was like, don't put me on camera, don't put me on video, was all of a sudden running this workshop.
Yeah, it's really interesting in that I say yes to stuff.
Yeah.
And then I realize, I actually have to do it.
Yeah, there was that.
Right. And it was the same thing when I walked the catwalk.
Oh, that's right. You walked the catwalk.
I walked the catwalk. I'm not a model. But I said yes, and I walked the catwalk with models, actual models that I was looking up to because they're very tall, very thin, and very young, and I'm not any of that. But I got up there and I walked it, and I learned how to walk the catwalk. And so I said yes to it, and then I realized, like a while later, as it was going through, you have to do a lot of stuff before you actually get on the catwalk, that I actually have to walk the catwalk.
Yeah. So the reality is this: we're on one side. Here's our line. We're on this side of the line, and there's scarcity a little bit, but you're scared. I can't. No support.
Right.
No nothing.
Yeah.
All this. Over here is just a whole bunch of opportunity.
Right.
Whole bunch of opportunity.
It's true.
And you don't have to knock down the whole entire wall, but you knock down a little bit of the wall at a time.
Yes.
Man, that opportunity opens up, and you don't even realize it's happening.
Absolutely.
It's just happening.
Yeah, it's all happening, and you don't even realize it because you just knock down, like you said.
Yes.
A couple little pegs.
And so chunking it out is where we're looking
sure.
at. You don't have to do everything at once.
Right.
Take the time.
Exactly.
Be gentle on yourself.
Right.
Be
Right.
gentle on yourself. Find your people. All right. This is probably a good place to end.
Yep.
Podcast number 3 of Effing Details.
High five.
High five that. We have swaggy hats. We have coffee mugs too with Fuck the Details. That is about don't get stuck in the details. Do it anyways. And at some point, we'll worry about the details. Okay, I'll put on a hat too. Oh, I got the small one.
You got the
My
small one.
big head. I'm going to take it off. And if you have any questions, anything you want to tell us, good, bad, or indifferent, we'd love for you to email us. And you can email us anytime at
Effing Details.
.com.
Yeah.
And you can also check out our website, effingdetails.com. We'd love if you subscribe to our YouTube channel or one of our podcast channels on Apple Podcast or on Spotify. Or here's the trifecta of everything. Just subscribe to everything.
Why not?
Why not?
It's cool.
Yeah, it's totally cool. And what we'll do is those that email us, we always choose one person from our list, and we send you out a really cool Fuck the Details chucker cap,
Absolutely.
which is totally awesome. Who doesn't want one of those?
Yeah.
All righty, till next time.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.